Good morning. It is Friday, the 12th of June, and we are live, aren't we,
Yes,
Mary?
we sure are. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Caffeine and Campaigns, the podcast that's not a podcast. What is it, Chris?
Well, this week it is a damn British barbecue with a LinkedIn account. That is what we are doing this week. Everyone has an opinion. Nobody knows who's in charge, and the ad budget has already wandered off with the tongs, let's be honest.
Oh, God, not the tongs. Perfect. Yes, very June weather. The weather app says that London is basically cloudy, vaguely damp, and 17 degrees at 10 a.m., which is exactly the sort of weather where British people start to wear sunglasses on their head whilst carrying a raincoat and saying, oh, yes, muggy, though. A little bit muggy.
A little bit muggy, isn't it? A little bit sticky. A little bit
Yeah,
sticky and
a little
damp.
bit sticky, a
Yeah.
little bit muggy.
That is
Aperol
the weather
spritz.
version of LinkedIn strategy, absolutely.
Exactly. Half confidence, half panic, one unexpected shower, which brings us neatly to today's topic: personal profile or company page. Where should you post and where should you run ads from?
That is a very, very good question
But
there.
speaking quickly about where we're from, let's just take a moment to look at Chris
I
coming
know
out
what
of
you're
his
going to say.
jungle forest there as he emerges from his wet cocoon, his spiky chrysalis. Chris, what on earth? Where are you, darling? You in the middle of the rainforest? You in the Amazon?
I am in our new studio. Well, it's not a new studio, but we've rejigged and moved things around. For those of you who are eagle-eyed amongst us, this is the studio that we had for KB Talks and also for the IDL podcast. Actually, it was just the IDL podcast. But we're now also making use of it for Caffeine and Campaign. So I have maneuvered myself, and I do love that fantastic David Attenborough impression there. That was rather marvelous.
Emerging from his chrysalis. It's Christopher Britton. Anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we? Less of the
Absolutely.
jungle interlude.
Well, in
Right.
plain English, what we are going to do today is what we're going to be talking about is, should the logo say it, should the person say it, or should we be paying LinkedIn to drag it in front of more people and put it in front of those eyeballs?
That's right. And before anyone asks, no, the post got 3 likes and 1 pity comment from Dave in finance. Thank you, Dave. It's not automatically a reason to put money behind your post. But thank you, Dave. We love you. We see you. We need the comments a lot of the time.
We do, absolutely, and that is a strong public service announcement right there.
Sammy, so keep commenting. So, for anybody new here, which there are lots and lots each week, thank you so much for joining us. He is Chris
Yes.
Britton, founder of KB, and a man who never met a LinkedIn question he couldn't turn into a map, a model, and 3 actions for me later on.
Ooh, it's a bit of passive aggressive there, Mary. And she is Mary Hughes. She is our integrated singer, marketing program manager, clown, and professional nonsense director. She is the only person who I know who can say, "Is this useful?" with the emotional force of a parking fine.
Accurate. But before we get into it, actual LinkedIn news has walked into our running order, which is handy because it makes
Yes.
us look very, very organized.
Absolutely. We're going to take those wins. Anything
Yes.
to make us look organized on
We
these.
take the rough with the smooth. Okay, I feel like it's already time for the first factoid of the day. Chris, will you hit it, please?
Friday's factoid of the day. It's a LinkedIn juicy one.
It's live. Reuters, not Roysters, the bubbly Chris brand, reported this week that LinkedIn has launched Brandworks, a new team for business advertisers. It also said that their Top Voices 360 program, which pairs advertisers with creators, generated more than $20 million between May 2025 and May 26, just in a year. In a year.
Just in a year. That's not pocket change. But I also kind of, if they've got a whole team behind it, I wonder, maybe expected it to be a bit bigger. Maybe that's just me.
I
Maybe
don't
that's
know,
just me.
£1 million, 20 million pounds, darling. It's not too bad. Anyway, it's this is that is a very expensive way of saying people would rather hear from people than a logo wearing a lanyard. Business Insider also reported LinkedIn is introducing a creator marketplace to help advertisers find B2B creators and subject matter experts.
So what you're saying then is LinkedIn is looking at the market and saying credible people are now becoming part of the advertising machine, I guess then.
Exactly. And in the world of AI, we are all desperate for a bit of authenticity.
Couldn't
LinkedIn.
agree with you more there, actually, Mary. That is
No,
very, very true. More
thank
authenticity, less AI GPT drivel.
Absolutely. Show us your wrinkles. Show us your yellow teeth. We want to see it. Bring back the 90s. LinkedIn has looked at company pages, personal profiles, creators, videos, and ads and gone, what if the answer was humans, but with invoicing? So thank you, LinkedIn.
That is perfectly accurate. Absolutely. What if it was humans? How can we attach an invoice to it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Get them paid. Anyway, so it's not a cage fight between the company page and the personal profile. Nobody needs to enter the ring wearing both brand guidelines as a cape.
Absolutely. No, they do different jobs. So for me, a personal a profile is that it's that human trust layer. The
Mm,
company page is then that official proof layer, and then the paid media is the reach layer that sits effectively at the top. And the mess starts when we see people ask one of them to do all three jobs. So the personal profile trying to do the reach and be the trust layer, and all of it all at once. It just becomes really messy.
yeah, messy, a bit crowded. From a customer
Crowded.
point of view as well, a person might get my attention, but then I am absolutely checking the company page, website, case studies to make sure that there is a real business behind them and not just one enthusiastic founder with a ring light and a Canva Pro subscription. It's all
Oh,
business is these
Canva.
days.
We love it. We love it. Exactly. The profile is there really to open the conversation. And I guess the company presence reassures
Mm.
people that there is substance behind it.
Yes, yes, it does. It does. They're all very important. They do their own separate jogs, but I think it's time for another factoid. Chris, hit it.
Factoid time, factoid time. Everyone ready for factoid time? Factoid time, factoid time. Everyone ready for. I fucked that one up, didn't I? But we're
Pause.
live, so we're going with it.
We're live, and we're fueled by caffeine and campaigns. Metricool analysed more than 673,000 LinkedIn posts from over 63,000 accounts for its
Wow.
2026 LinkedIn study. So personal profiles had a 63, it's all the 63s today, percent higher engagement rate on average than company pages. Significant.
Yes. That is significant, but you know what? That doesn't surprise me in the slightest, and it also explains why personal profiles often then feel more alive.
Yes, but before anyone runs off and deletes the company page like it's personally offended them, company pages were more likely to be shared and they still matter for credibility, events, proof, things like recruitment, paid campaigns can come from the company pages, and then all that official stuff that stops buyers quietly worrying that it's all just a fake load of nonsense con. No?
Absolutely. Well, that is the balance. So I guess personal profiles, they're creating that interaction. And from what we've just said and what you've just mentioned is that, and the proof of what Metricool is saying is that the company pages are creating that reassurance and that infrastructure that sits behind those personal profiles, which I guess is how ultimately, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, LinkedIn was architected from the get-go like that.
Well, who knows? Could have been on the roadmap.
Could
So
have
the
been.
company page could have been. So the company page is not dead. R.I.P. It is just not going to burst through the wall like Mr. Blobby shouting, Blobby, Blobby, Blobby. AKA, I've got a spicy opinion on pipeline velocity. I actually used to love Mr. Blobby. I feel like I embody Mr. Blobby a lot of the time. I want to anyway, even if I'm not.
Pink with yellow
Chris,
spots, or was it yellow with pink spots? I can't remember what way around it
pink
was. It
with
was
yellow,
pink with
pink with
yellow
yellow.
spots. Yeah, and do you actually know it sold recently? Well, I say recently, it was what, 6 months ago, back at beginning turn of 2026,
That's
and the
recently.
blobby suit sold for £62,000. The
Oh my
wild, the
goodness,
official blobby suit. That's
£62,000.
wild.
I thought you were gonna say £62. I was like, "Oh, I could have had that. My dreams coming true." Anyway,
And it was
um,
really tatty and dirty as well for the photos. But there we go. Let's not get sidetracked. Let's
I
get
can
back to
imagine
business.
under
Eyes
those
on the
studio lights.
money.
Yes, yes. Okay, fine. Let's get back to work then. Okay, let's give each one a job then. One of our, company profiles, personal profiles, because this is where the teams I feel are getting tangled. So let's break this out a little bit for the people, shall we, Chris?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So, personal profiles, from my point of view, and for everything that we've looked at, they are strongest when the content needs a human point of view. So if
Mm,
you're posting about expertise, lived experience, let me think, opinions,
mm,
market commentary, practical advice, maybe even like lessons learned, or
mm.
something that needs to you're trying to like stem a conversation or is needing to drive direction, that's when the personal profile is strongest. So any of those, I would say, is the best way to be using a personal profile.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think a person can say, here's what we're seeing in the market. And then the
Yeah.
company page could say something like, we remain committed to delivering insight led excellence across evolving professional ecosystem. And then everybody immediately remembers that they need to descale the kettle and take the dog out for a walk because we're all dying of boredom. But too much, too
That
much. Do
was
I need to
brilliant.
reel that in a
That
bit?
was brilliant. It was, yeah, the amount of, headline company stats and, mantras that we read, and we think we still
Slogans.
don't really understand slogans, that we don't know what they do, but there we go. Anyway, there we go. The company page for is it's gonna be strongest for official updates. A step away from the example that Mary just gave, where we can be committed to delivering insight-led this, that, and the other. The company page is strongest for official updates. So things like events, case studies, proof points,
Mm.
hiring, that's a big one actually. Company news, and by company news, I don't mean saying that you've got a new website, that is not newsworthy. Campaign hubs and retargeting audiences actually within a paid media environment.
That's true.
It is the shop window to your business.
That is the shop window. And then the personal profile is the person outside the shop saying, come on in, it's useful in here. I promise there's things you might
That's a
like.
good analogy.
And
I like that.
the company page is the window proving it's not a pop-up scam selling generic PDFs and white panic.
White
I
love it.
feel like I've
Love
had
it.
job trauma somewhere in here that I'm bringing to the masses.
A
Anyway,
little bit. You are. You're using it as your this is your group therapy session. So
so
the
let's
best
hold hands.
strategy, yeah, let's all hold hands. Let's
Let's
all
hold
hold
hands.
hands. All
I don't
hold
know what this was.
hands.
It's a
It's a
pincer.
love.
It's a pincer. Sorry. Carry on, Di.
Yeah. The best strategy, I think, is a strategy that's using both. So using
Mm,
your analogy that you just gave, I think that is a really good analogy, actually. If the page posts the event, the people can then explain why it matters. If the page posts, I don't know, a case study, the people can then explain the lesson behind it. If the
yes.
page shares the offer, then the people can add the context behind it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like copy, paste, repost, and pray.
No,
It's more like let's adapt what we're seeing. We can have the official line, and then you can have the discussion after it as well on the
you can have
personal
the
pages.
human line. You can have the human line,
Mm.
exactly. Because that's not alignment. That's just Command C, Command V for Windows users, or Control C and Control V for
Oh, we use
yeah,
that here in
yeah,
KB. Very posh.
sounds exactly.
Right, let's play Who Should Say It, which sounds like a game show ITV would put on at 4 p.m. between a property programme and someone valuing an ornate vase.
It absolutely does. It's a very strong concept. So we are going to play Who Should Say It. We don't have any jingle for it. So we're going to go straight in. That's a bit of a flop, isn't it?
Who should play it? Scenario one, you're running an event. What do we do first?
Okay, running an event. Company page or
Mm,
event page for the official invite, the
yes,
registration link and the details, and then use the personal profile for the reason to attend. Ads, if you really do need targeted reach beyond the people who you already know, can then run from that.
that's right. So if the page says Friday, 10 a.m., here's the link. The person might say on their personal page, here is why it's worth your coffee break and not just another calendar item you accept out of guilt.
Exactly that. Go on, Mary. Let's
Okay.
take us on to scenario two.
Scenario two, you have a strong opinion about something in your market. Where should it go? Where should it go?
Strong opinion. Well, this is risky.
Mm,
So I would say
mm,
personal profile first, because opinions need a person. Opinions are backed up by a person. A company page can respond,
mm.
they can repost, they could turn it into a clearer summary later. But the spark normally belongs with the human whose opinion it belongs to.
So let me just get that straight. Personal opinion in a corporate job. Is that allowed? Are we sure? Do I need to call HR?
Calling
Oh,
HR.
calling HR. Yes, having a logo, a logo having a hot take feels kind of wrong. So probably not
Mm.
for the company page there. A bit like a printer asking for emotional support. We should be getting emotional support from the printer, not jams. Unless it's apricot. I do like a nice tart apricot.
That was me thinking you just like the tart. Okay, moving on then. I'll do the third one. So the third scenario, 3. Mary, you have a case study or
Oh,
a customer result. What would you
hmm.
post it from and where and when?
And when and where and why and who? I would say company page for the official proof.
Hmm.
Personal profile for the story. So
Yep.
talking about what's changed, what was difficult, what surprised you, and what other businesses should learn from it. Otherwise, we're just looking at a PDF being launched into the void like a sad little paper boat. So yeah, company page for the official.
Sad bit of origami there. That's exactly it. So proof belongs on. Yeah, bye. Proof belongs
But
on the page, and meaning then is often coming from the person itself.
exactly, exactly. Adding that sort of human element back into it. Okay,
Mm.
scenario 4. You're hiring. Where should it go?
Oh, yeah. So I
Company or
mentioned this just now. I
personal?
actually slotted it in last minute, which was the whole you're hiring and you've got a company page. So I would say company page for the role,
Mm,
the requirements, and the employer brand. But personal profiles can then elevate that for the real culture, why someone would want to join. And also, you can take a funny spin with it. Like, do you really want to come and work with me? And those kind of like, so those personal elements that sit above the company profile that are coming from your own personal profile. So that's really what I
definitely.
would do.
Yeah,
Um,
add a little bit
yeah.
of human into the mix. Because I suppose just saying that you're a fast-paced team can mean exciting, or it can mean that nobody's had any lunch since Tuesday. Humans will help decode that. Have you eaten today, Chris?
No, not yet. And I don't generally tend to do breakfast. I will have lunch,
Breakfast.
but breakfast isn't for me. No,
Anyway, we digress.
no.
Scenario 5.
We
Let's
do.
go.
We definitely know you've eaten because you were stuffing toast into your mouth just before recording. Yeah, wiping the crumbs off. Absolutely. So,
I need the
scenario
sugar.
5. You want leads.
Yes, yes. Here comes the ad budget, and it's wearing sunglasses indoor in a muggy UK. Where does it go? Where does it go?
Alrighty, Anna Wintour, eat your heart out. So, company company page ads are often cleaner for lead generation, but this is the really important point we're going to get to in just a second. But the
Mm,
whole thing behind this podcast is on a podcast. So, if you want to do things like retargeting, tracking, and campaign structure, all of that company page, but personal profile content can support demand by building trust first. So
yes,
you can
yes.
run something, what we dub as thought leader ads. So they can bring those two worlds together, but only when the post is good and the setup is
Hmm.
right. And we have loads of experience learning what works, what doesn't, what's right, what's not, how much money you need to put behind it. And this is one of the biggest secrets behind getting LinkedIn campaigns to perform, and that's the thought
Yes.
leadership run ads.
Yes, couldn't agree more with that. Which brings us on to our next chaotic sentence in market. Should we boost it? Is it worth putting money behind it? What do we do?
Oh, boosting. Do you know how many times I hear people go, I tried boosting it, and it just didn't work. I mean, boosting's not bad. It's
Yeah.
just often really badly misused. That's where the problem
Misunderstood.
is. It's
Mm.
misunderstood. LinkedIn, they do have an official stance on this. My official stance is I don't agree with it, but LinkedIn says that posts with a higher than a normal engagement rate are good candidates for boosting. Boosting's not going to drive leads. Let's be really clear about that. Boosting is really just designed to get eyeballs and interactions and clicks and what we refer to in previous episodes as those vanity metrics. The
Mm.
phrase matters though is important that according to LinkedIn is higher than a normal engagement. But for me, if you've already got higher than normal engagement, you've probably exhausted it within the network it's in. Is there point in promoting it further? I've got a very close friend called Tony, and she talks about social mobility and social mobility across all sorts of levels. So in the workplace, out of the workplace, like what that looks like. And she posted a post, and she had one of those ice cream chocolate blocks. I can't remember what you call them, like chocolate ice cream, chocolate bars
Chalk ice,
things. The
chalk ice.
choc ice. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking
No
for.
worries. We
Thank you,
got there in the
thank you,
end. We
Mary.
got there,
We got
darling.
there. That was painful. I'm sorry, everyone. That was
Chocolate
painful.
block, chocolate
But
block, chocolate block.
chocolate. Yeah,
Go,
exactly.
chalk ice,
Yes,
go,
exactly.
go. You're on. We're
Chalk
there.
ice.
Go. Run it.
So she posted about choc ice, and it just went wild. It
Wow.
must have triggered some kind of nostalgia in people. But she had
Mm.
thousands, and I'm not exaggerating, thousands of people and tens of thousands. I think it even went into the hundreds of thousands of people reach on this post. It was huge, but that's because it's nostalgia. Would I boost a post like that? No, it's getting organic reach. Leave it. Let it run with the legs that it's grown. For God's sake, it's brilliant when you see things like that.
That's
I
true.
do
But with a
recommend you check out
backwind of
Toby's profile.
optimism, who knows? A boost on that may have just got in front of more people. So you can try what you want. But
Yeah,
yes, you can do what you like with that, really. But if your post gets 11 likes, grieve the 2 minutes you spent prompting ChatGPT for your content. That's also probably why it didn't work. So grieve
yeah.
the time you've poured into that and move swiftly on. I think that's the vibe.
Absolutely. Boosting can be useful, I think, for time sensitive posts,
Yeah,
but
we're late.
really that, yeah, we're late. Shit,
Get it out.
shit, we're
Put a
late.
tenner behind
Um,
it. See what happens.
yeah, exactly. Boosting can be useful for those time sensitive things. So don't, basically, it's just because you weren't organized, that's why you're having to boost it. But events, strong organic content, simple awareness goals, or giving a proven message more reach. But if you need proper targeting, testing, measurement, retargeting,
Mm,
maybe even like multiple creatives, or you've got a serious budget, please God,
yeah.
use Campaign Manager. And if you don't know what you're doing, speak to an agency who do.
Yeah, like us. Anyway,
Yeah.
so boosting then is the meal deal of LinkedIn ads. It's handy, it's convenient, it gets the job done sometimes. But if you are feeding 40 people at a wedding, please do not walk in there with 3 prawn mayo sandwiches and a packet of Monster Munch and announce, here's the ample wedding breakfast, and then a couple of Rennies to just pack that down a little bit. No?
Where's the analogy come from? That's brilliant. It's brilliant. Campaign manager is where you build your proper plan. So you're going to build your
Yes.
audience, your objective, your creative. You're linking out to your landing page. You're setting your budget. You're doing the tracking. You're testing. You're measuring. All of that is what lives in Campaign Manager. So exactly the analogy that Mary went with. Don't turn up to your wedding breakfast with a meal deal from Boots. Did you say? I think yeah,
Tesco, I
Boots.
went with, I
Anywhere,
think. I
Tesco,
would like to
Tesco,
Tesco.
any of them,
Okay, not
any of the above.
sponsored. Not sponsored. Anyway,
Other
um,
retailers are available.
other sandwich outlets are out there. Anyway, let's move on to, I think this is our final scenario. What about thought leader ads? Where should they
Brilliant.
go?
Yeah, this is a really, and this is the bit I want to talk about the most because actually I
Oh,
think thought leader ads are, they are really, really, really good when they're done properly, and they really are where
mm,
you get the traction. So this is where, and for those of you who don't know, let's break it down. So this is where a company can sponsor eligible content from a person. So it has to be with permission that you do this. But if someone's created a post that tags your company and they grant permission for you to accelerate that post, LinkedIn will let you do that. And
mm,
the response rates from that, LinkedIn has reported a thought leader ads have 1.7 times higher click through rate and 1.6 times, I think it is, yeah, 1.6 times higher click
mm,
through, higher engagement rate compared with other single image ad campaigns or any kind of ad like that in its early pilot data. So it's really, from my point of view, if you're wanting to cut through all the noise, you're wanting to make a difference on LinkedIn, you're wanting people to see and also see influence, but also see and listen to the message of what you're trying to get through. This is where those ads, those thought leader ads, can really help you cut through to the market. But you have to do them right, and there's a lot of practice
mm.
that goes into getting them right.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Because if it looks and feels closer to a human post, not
Yes,
somebody shouting from behind a roller banner, "Come and see us in booth 793 at some random trade show." It's just a little bit more
it's a bit more
hands-on, a little
personal,
bit
isn't it?
touchy-feely, personal.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly, exactly. But the post does still need to be strong.
yes.
And you'll be surprised how many revisions and edits and what I would truly call wordsmithing happens on scripts and prompts for those kind of short posts that are put out that we'll then be using, because we have to get it right. We have to see that we're also going to get organic reach off the back of it, and ultimately it's going to drive the conversions that you're looking for. But the post, as I say,
Mm.
it does need to be strong. Paid does not turn a weaker thought into something, some kind of stronger thinking. It just distributes the weakness faster. So just because you're
Exactly.
putting something behind it doesn't mean it's going to
Mm.
suddenly start working.
Yes, like a cheap squash. Don't bother. Too weak, too weak. That needs printing on the boost button as well. You're too weak. You're too weak. Don't bother. Don't spend your pocket money on this one, darling. Also, just as an addition to that, permission actually matters. You have to go through LinkedIn's permission process. You can't just grab someone's personal profile like a marketing pirate and shout, "Congratulations, you're an ad now." It's not going to work.
Absolutely correct. And businesses also, this is another area where businesses do fall foul. They need clear rules. So who can be sponsored, what claims are allowed, who's approving it, what happens
Who
if comments
approved
get
that? No,
awkward.
sorry.
You approve that. Yeah, like have an approval process. And that, what happens if those comments get awkward? Because so
Mm.
often they don't have an answer, and they're like, "Oh God, did we just delete it?" And I'm like, "Oh no, that's not. It depends. There's different levels, and you need professional help then when you're looking at that point. So, and also how that person is protected. So you've got the own person's own credibility that you've got to respect and protect as well.
Yeah, because your employee advocacy shouldn't feel like a jury service. If the Slack message says,
Mm,
please like and share by 2 p.m., and everyone suddenly develops a dentist appointment, that is a clue that they don't want to do it. Maybe you should listen to that.
exactly. You should support people. Please, God, do not conscript them. It's
No,
not
don't
cool.
sign them up for something they don't want to do because it's also, talking about authenticity. If they don't want to do it, it's not going to come across that way anyway, is it? So
Exactly.
let's put the simple filter in the middle of the table before someone starts boosting a holiday closure update.
Absolutely. So you need to ask, who needs to hear this, and what do they need to believe? Who
Mm,
is the most credible person saying it? Just because you've got a company spokesperson, are they the most credible person saying it? Don't always default to them.
yeah.
Does it need official proof? Does it need a human perspective? Does it even need paid reach? And how will we know it worked? So what does good look like? All of those questions before you even enter your card details into LinkedIn should be answered.
I agree. Slightly shorter version on that, and to summarize, is this a questions to ask yourself? Sorry, is this a person moment, a proof moment, or a paid moment? If it's all three, then plan all three properly. Don't just
Mm.
make company page do jazz hands while the personal profile retreats into a bush like Homer Simpson. No bush jokes. No bush
Very
jokes.
strategic and very visual there. I like that. I like that.
Coming from you, who is actually in a bush,
Yeah, I am. I'm in a
your
bush.
jungle bush. Such a beautiful darling. Anyway, strategic and visual.
Absolutely, it is. Strategic and
Okay,
visual.
let's give the viewers what they want. They've come here for the quickfire round, quickfire round, quickfire
Quick fire
round. Chris,
round.
is the company page dead?
R.I.P. No, it's not dead. It's just it's not the whole strategy. So stop believing that the company page is the whole strategy.
Couldn't agree more. Should every founder post on LinkedIn?
Not every founder, but every business does need visible expertise somewhere.
That's why we're here, isn't it?
That's why
We're
we're
the
here.
experts. Visibly
Absolutely. Yeah,
expert. Visibly expert.
exactly. That's why you're here, Mary. I'm the founder and you're the expert.
Well, exactly. Should employees be forced to share company posts?
No, please no. That's just LinkedIn jury service. Let's not do
Yes.
that.
No. If you want to, do it. If you don't want to, don't do it. Should you boost a post because it's got no engagement?
No, that's yeah, no. That's just buying a bigger bin for put it in. It's not a good idea.
Move on.
Move on
Move
through.
on. Can company page ads work?
Yes, they can. You saw me take a deep breath when I said that then. But the offer, the targeting and the creative and the measurement have to be spot on.
Yeah. You're wasting your time if it's not. Can
Yeah.
personal profile content run as ads?
Yes, through thought leader ads with permission and the right setup, and absolutely the right kind of script, post, prompt, messaging, it can be a killer campaign.
Yeah. Yeah, plan it out, darlings, is proud to announce on thin ice.
Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. It's been asked to bring a representative into this meeting.
Oh, God. Oh, it's getting serious. Getting
It
serious. Right,
is.
final
It
answer
is.
then. Personal profile or company page? Which one?
Well, both, but with different jobs. So use your personal profiles to build the trust, the expertise, and the conversation. Use
Mm,
the company page to create the credibility, the proof, the structure, and the paid infrastructure. Use the ads then to accelerate what already makes sense. The
yes,
goal is not to pick one forever. The goal is to decide who should say what, where, when, why, and how should they say it.
absolutely. So the person gets attention, the page gives reassurance, and ads add the reach you need. So if the idea is boring, okay, if it's boring, all three are going to suffer together like a group project where nobody's actually read the brief. We've all just turned
Nicely
up
put.
winging it.
Nicely put. And that is today's episode.
Yes, it is. I hope you've learnt
Covered it
something
off.
special from that. I feel like we've gone into some depth there, which is good. But before we go, a quick
Have.
plug for something separate from caffeine and
Yes,
campaigns.
please, Mary.
Chris
Take it
is
away.
actually running a deeper session and a serious session as well on Tuesday, the 30th of June at 10 a.m. called What AI Needs Before It Can Be Relevant. Chris, tell us more.
Thank you for reminding me to put this plug
Mm,
it. Absolutely. So this one is going to be a practical deep dive. We're gonna take off our clown noses and wigs, and we're very, very serious. So it's on a Tuesday. Why would you be clowning around on a Tuesday? That's a serious
well,
day,
why?
not a Friday.
Tell us why.
So we're going to do a practical deep dive on for marketing leaders and digital transformation leaders. So AI has made marketing quicker, but smarter depends on what you feed it ultimately. So we're going to look
Mm.
at why AI workflows and personalization still feel generic when the data and the customer understanding underneath are weak, ultimately.
Yes, yes. Alternatively, stop expecting AI to know your customers if you fed it three vague personas, a spreadsheet from 2021, and a hope and a dream and a prayer. It's not psychic, it's just very confident and will spit out absolute trifle at you. So, learn from Chris. He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. Please scan the QR code in one of the corners of the screen. One of them, one of them, one of them. Scan the QR code and hit register.
Yes, cameras out, people. Not for a screenshot of Chris looking thoughtful. Do it. The QR code, he's voguing instead of the QR code. Take a shot of that. Stay focused and do join us then.
Absolutely. And next week, Friday, the 19th of June, June is over the halfway mark by then. That's absolutely wild. At 10 a.m., we are back with, I think, what is going to be one of Mary's most favorite subjects: how to make boring business interesting to prospects.
I do love this one actually because most businesses are not actually boring. They've just been explained by someone who thinks a brochure needs to wear Jesus sandals and socks. So let's let those toes air next week and see what we can drag out from the depths of the PowerPoints, shall we?
Absolutely. We're going to talk about how to find the tension, the customer
Oof,
problem,
oof.
useful angles, proof,
Mm.
and the story in business people wrongly dismiss as dull. So we're going to be bringing all of that to life in next week's episode.
Can all be flipped on its head with the right personality. So if you've ever said our industry is just too boring for content, then next week Um, we're going to gently take those beliefs outside and show them the recycling bin. We put the jazz in jazz apples and ensure Jane McDonald is performing on your cruise singing Dua Lipa's Physical. It's Jane McDonald, everyone. It's Jane McDonald. I
Jazz
can't
and
believe
jazz
it.
apples.
Put the jazz in jazz apples. Working with what we've got. You're not boring. Come to us.
You're
We'll
not
help.
boring. That should be our new slogan on our website. Just front and center, not marketing, but mega. But we put the jazz in your jazz apples.
Yeah. If
Um,
you're boring, see us because we're not.
yeah.
Anyway, he is Chris.
And she is Mary,
And this has been Caffeine and Campaigns.
the podcast that's not a podcast, but what is it? Well, for me, I think this
No
week it's
idea.
been a damp LinkedIn barbecue with a vague media plan. But those
Yes,
tongues,
it's all
we're going
gone
to
a
come
bit
running back
fusty.
with them. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Same time next week, everyone. Bring coffee, bring questions, and bring one boring business you secretly know could be made interesting by people like Chris and I, who are, quite frankly,
Absolutely.
we need a small lie down before we go again. Anyway, goodbye. We love
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Goodbye. See you next week.